Hi guys, and welcome. We are the Houston SPCA, and I am Jen, the Volunteer Services Director here.
I am Fran. I am the Foster Care Coordinator here at the SPCA.
And today we are going to talk about kitten season. So with our kitten season, a lot of people want to know, what does that all entail? Like, what is kitten season? So typically kitten season happens during our springtime going into summer. And so typically we see tons of cats that are giving birth, as they give birth multiple times through the year. And so they can get pregnant pretty much back to back and in this time of, weather change, all that great stuff like that. So typically a mother cat can have about 3 litters in a summer. So you can just imagine the amount of kittens that we will see here, especially within our Houston area. So we want to kind of look at, what do these kittens need, and kind of some basic supplies, and how you as a community can help with our kitten season. So with our kittens, fosters are needed. So whether you are participating at your local animal welfare organization, or you're doing it on your own, these are some kind of key tips that you can use to take care of kittens. So kittens are at various points and stages when you find them. Sometimes you can find them at itty bitty little stages, like at 2 weeks old. Sometimes they're at older ages where their eyes are open and they're kind of wiggling around, moving, and all that great stuff. And so we're going to kind of see a little kitten at a 2-week stage. So this kitten is tiny, itty bitty. Here we go, buddy. Yeah, here we go. So here we have a little 2-week-old kitten. You can kind of see the little adorable big eyes and the little flop ears that are opening right here. And so with these lovely little kittens, they do need care around the clock. So with a kitten of this size, it will need to be fed every 2 hours. And so it also will need a great heat source. So as far as like supplies, a lot of people can use heat discs, and we have some heat disc here. Let's see if we can grab it here. Perfect. So we'll have a heat disc. You can typically put those in the microwave, and they stay warm for about a 2-hour period. And as long as you have a insulation with it, it kind of mimics like the body heat of a mother. And you can also have a stuffy if the mother is not present. And so a lot of these little stuffies, you can even get one if you get one from the carnival or whatever. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a mom cat or a animal look. It could be like a pink bear or something, just something warm and cuddly for them to kind of cuddle and mimic having another body with them. And then sometimes if you go to your local pet stores, they'll have ones that have heartbeats in them. And then when they have the heartbeat, it kind of mimics it like being with mom and stuff. And as you can tell, it's purring. Want to hear the purrs? They're so cute. And so with kittens at this size, if you're bottle feeding them, let's say you're going to bottle feed them on your own, typically you'll just need a syringe and some nipples here. And you can find these at your local pet store places. And of course, here at the Houston SPCA, if you find kittens and you would like to nurse them on your own at your own house, you can come in or do a call to our call center. And then you can be called what we call a kitten warrior. And we can supply you with a starter pack, which will include some powdered KMR. So it'd be in kind of a form of this size. And then, of course, a bottle kit so you can get started with feeding kittens at your house. And then, of course, if you do find kittens that are tiny that do need mom and you're maybe not quite ready for it, you can definitely call us and we can help get you started in bringing in these kittens to get cared for, as they do need a lot of care around the clock. Here at our organization, we do have a lovely nursery set up here. And with our nursery, we have kittens all the way from 2 weeks all the way up to 6 to 8 weeks, kind of bridging out going into our adoptions. And so with that, our fosters come and help us with our fosters. If you would like to be a foster as well, you can definitely come and sign up on our website. An easy application, watch a video, take a quick quiz, and then boom, you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to take home your lovely little kittens from the nursery. And let's say, for example, you're like, I don't want to go home. I don't want to take care of these at my house, but maybe I just want to come help on a temporary basis. So that is what we call a volunteer. So with volunteers, you can come in and you can come feed baby kittens. And let's say if you're not quite comfortable feeding baby kittens, there's tons and tons of other stuff that these kittens need that our nursery can use, as in like preparing formula, maybe sterilizing bottles, or maybe helping with finding cuddlies for them, warming up discs. There's all kinds of different tasks that you can do as far as helping to take care of little baby kittens. And so with the commitment of, let's say, for example, being a foster, it would depend on the kitten's age. So typically here, our kittens are spayed and neutered at 8 weeks old. So let's say if you find a kitten that is 3 weeks, then that would be a 5-week commitment. And let's say if you are doing your fostership and something happens and you're like, you know what, I can't do the full 5 weeks. We totally understand. We have tons of fosters that will take over that fostership for you, and or we can place them back into the nursery until they get into a foster home. So just depending on their age, that will be the commitment that you can kind of think about as far as taking care of the kittens. And another really cool thing about fostering with us is that we provide the supplies that you need to foster. So if you need bedding, food, toys, all kinds of cool stuff that you need to raise these kittens, we can definitely be able to provide for you. And it's not only just like the KMR, which is like the milk and stuff. There's also pet food. Like, of course, they go through transitions of eating wet food all the way into solid food. So we can also help you with those transitions and all the tips and tricks that you'll need in order to raise these baby kittens.
So somebody's asking, what if they've never bottle fed a kitten before, but they want to foster?
Okay, so that's a really great question. So we do have a training video that is offered to our fosters and our volunteers, and it is how to take care of a kitten in your home. And it walks you through the process of feeding, having to stimulate them to use the restroom, burping them, all kinds of good stuff that you need in order to learn to raise baby kittens, and even bridging into what they need to do as far as having toys, litter boxes, all that great stuff like that.
And then what happens if somebody finds lost kittens or orphan kittens? What do they do? Do they immediately bring them in?
So that's a great question. So with kittens that are brought or found, I should say, if they are considered healthy, you want to make sure that you give it a chance to have the mom come, because more than likely the mom's probably peeping you out, like actually seeing you because you're kind of coming close. Maybe mom's not too fond of humans, so has left. Maybe she's going to go get food, and so she left them briefly, and so you happen to stumble upon them. So if they're definitely healthy, you want to make sure you leave them so you can see if mom comes back to care for them. Now let's say if they are not healthy, like let's say if there's insects around them or they're in considered immediate danger or distressful situations, then yes, that's when you want to be able to collect them. And when you collect them, you want to be able to bring them into your your animal welfare organization.
And what happens if I'm fostering kittens and I want to adopt them, or my friend wants to adopt them?
That is awesome. So yes, this is a perfect way to find out if a pet is a good fit for yourself, and or a great way to promote and being able to recommend that kitten or puppy, whoever it is, to your friends. And so if you'd like to adopt, you definitely, if you're fostering, give that fostership a couple of times just to kind of see if that's a good fit for you. And then if you do, as a foster, find an adopter, we are more than welcome to have people adopt the animals from their fosters.
Can I foster if I have pets at home?
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's a big question is, can I foster with pets? You want to make sure that you are able to do slow introductions. You want to be able to isolate them in case if they have any kind of contagions. Me as a person, I do have 3 dogs at home, and I definitely love to foster. I foster other puppies, and it's a great way to have socialization for animals of the same species. Say, for example, if I'm fostering the puppies, my older dogs are able to teach that puppy some manners and some different things that a dog needs as far as socialization.
So can I choose the type of age or type of animal I want to foster?
Oh, more than definitely, yes. As fostering with us in our organization, you're able to pick what you foster for. So if you're a person that wants to just foster babies, you can foster just babies. If you want to foster, let's say, elderly pets, you can do that. You can also choose to foster what you foster for. So it could be for injury, it could be for medical purposes, it could be for illnesses. So you get to pick and choose what you foster.
And then what happens if there's an emergency with my foster?
All right, so that does happen off and on with our foster program. Things do happen within fostering a pet. They might get sick, maybe severely injured. So with fostering with our program, we do have a 24-hour rescue ambulance. And so with that, let's say, for example, it's outside of our foster hours that were open, you can definitely call them, and our rescue ambulance will come out to pick up the pet to then give it medical care that it needs.
When will this little kitten be ready for adoption?
So, for example, this little baby kitten here is 3 to 4 weeks old, and so we're looking at approximately about a month. So another 3 to 4 weeks, and then this kitten will be ready to rock and roll in somebody's new house.
Does every adoption come with spay and neutering?
Yes. So with our adoptions, all of our animals come microchipped, all up to date on the vaccines according to the species and age appropriateness. And then, of course, they are spayed and neutered. All animals, dogs, cats, everything that we adopt out through our organization.
And then, do kittens automatically learn how to use the kitty litter?
So it's kind of like a trial and error. So with our little kittens, we use it sounds kind of silly, but we use paper or cardboard boxes that you would put cans inside of. And so we fill it with paper, so that way if they do ingest it, it's not a big clumping factor in their digestional tract. And so with that, it's a lot of practice with them. And so you don't want to scold them or scare them. So it's a lot of repetition of showing them what to do. And some of them have that natural instinct to just kind of dig and start using the restroom. Around, I want to say 3 to 4 weeks, a lot of our fosters will say, oh, we're starting litter training, or they're already kind of starting litter training. And so then they'll kind of progress into, using, the typical litter boxes with the litter and stuff that they use within the litter boxes.
What is your favorite part about fostering, or the hardest part?
So my favorite part about fostering is going through, it sounds kind of silly, but the trials and tribulations, just because you learn and grow with these animals. You kind of, for example, I wasn't always a cat person, but kitten season has kind of turned me into like, oh my gosh, these kittens are so adorable, and kind of going with those levels of, teaching them that stuff and staying up all night sometimes if they're sick or whatever it is, kind of going through those aspects of it. I would say the hardest part is giving them back. That would be, you spend a lot of time with them sometimes, and it kind of becomes like a family member. And so sometimes giving them back is a little hard, but also rewarding, because that they're going to go into a good home.
Someone's asking, my cat had kittens. How old do they have to be so I can get mom spayed, and where can I get that done?
Awesome. Okay. So with kittens, typically, let's say, for example, that the mom is nursing, or the kittens are nursing on them. You want to go until approximately 4 to 5 weeks with the kittens. And then at that point in stage, you can separate them, because kittens may just need a little bit of supplemental milk, or you can make a gruel substance for them. So mixing the KMR mix with a wet food to make a slurry, and then kind of bridging them into that sloppy kind of porridge mixture. And then, of course, taking mom into getting spayed and neutered. So you can take, for example, if you're wanting to keep that mother pet, you can definitely find a low-cost spay and neuter place. And or let's say if you don't have room, or you're not committed to taking care of mom, you can always bring her into our organization, and we'll, of course, move her through that adoption process, where it does do the microchipping, spay and neuter, and all the vaccines that she'll need.
If I'm not able to foster or volunteer, can I donate items?
Yes, of course. course. So, kind of typically like what we call like just like you would do for a baby shower, you can donate it like items as well. So, like stuffed animals, bottle kits, KMR, wet wipes, all kinds of different things like that. Sometimes people donate blankets. They don't necessarily have to be like brand spanking new. They can be gently used, or some people make them. They make the ones with the little knots on them. So everything can be donated as far as supplies wise. And let's say, for example, you're like, I'm not too sure what I'm getting myself into as far as buying supplies. We definitely have a wish list on Amazon. And with that Amazon wish list, it has everything that we need and that we use throughout our nursery. And so it's all kinds of different things, even like Ziploc bags we need. So it's very basic things to elaborate things that we may need, but it's all useful within our nursery.
And how do I become a foster? Is there an online process?
Yeah. So becoming a foster, you'll have to go onto our website, so the Houston SPCA.org. In the Get Involved tab, there is a foster section, so you can do the application through that tab. It's really easy. There's no fees or anything like that. You get started with watching a video on how to become a foster with our policies and all that great stuff. Then you take a little quiz just to acknowledge that you've seen those videos, and then you're foster trained and you're ready to pick up your first foster.
How do I know which pets are available for adoption, or how do I adopt the available pets?
Yeah, so all of our available pets are on our website. So the same website, our HoustonSPCA.org website. All of our available animals are categorized. So if you're looking for a specific pet, meaning like species-wise, like cats, dogs, you can kind of click on the different icons and see those different pets. And of course, you can just view all, and you can see everything, even farm animals. We have everything available on our website.
Can I come to the nursery and watch, or how can I be a part of it?
That is awesome. So there's a 2-part process that you can get involved with our nursery. So one is becoming a volunteer and going through that process and coming to do our nursery. And we are having our open house this weekend on Saturday. We are having a sneak peek into our nursery. So we're going to have our mock nursery set up in our adoption center, and people are going to get to see our staff and volunteers feed these lovely little kittens in live action. You can kind of see the setup and what it all entails in taking care of kittens. And so not only are we going to have a sneak peek to our nursery at our open house, but we're going to have a display of all various different kinds of activities, whether you want to get face painted for kids, or you want to have balloon animals. We're going to have cotton candy, different vendors, all kinds of cool stuff at our open house. But definitely this is one of our highlights, is our lovely little sneak peek into our nursery, so you can see these baby kittens. And you might even get to see our lovely little orange one that we saw before getting fed in that nursery as well.
And what is inside the kitten nursery? What are the type of supplies that are in there?
So within our kitten nursery, we definitely have, of course, our lovely little kittens at various stages of ages. They are in incubators that have regulation temperature gauges and stuff. They do have heating sources inside there, similar to like the heating disc that we saw earlier. And then, of course, they have a what we call like a snuggle, or some kind of animal to help replicate another animal, especially if they come in as singlets like this one did. And then, of course, we have in there tons and tons of KMR. We also have a puppy portion as well, because we do get puppies here and there. And then, of course, different kinds of bottles, because different stages, they eat a certain amount. So we have like bottles, cleaning tools, all that great stuff. We have the syringes with the smaller, sizes that they need to eat. And then, of course, we have, like little shallow bowls and stuff as they're transitioning into eating into that gruely stage. We have tons of food and blankets. We have the wet wipes, and so the wet wipes are very hypoallergenic, so you don't want anything fragrance or anything like that. As just like your human skin, kitten skins are very sensitive as well. And of course, we have all the various things like mason jars to help warm up milk, and we have shaker bottles to help mix up the formula and stuff. So there's all kinds of cool supplies that we have in our nursery to make it successful to be able to feed these little guys. All right, so we had tons of fun with you guys explaining what kitten season is. If you want to come and see a sneak peek on how to feed these guys and kind of just see them in general, you can definitely come to our open house this weekend on Saturday. It does start at 12 p.m. and it goes all the way till 6 p.m. So I hope to see you guys there. Bye. You are wild.
You're so